Okay, good morning. So come onto your mats. Go ahead and Haiti, I hope that you can stay with it. Hi Karen. Oh, maybe it's just, oh, it is Haiti. Okay. All right. So we're gonna get started. Hi, good morning. I'll mute you guys. Karen's muted. Okay. Well, you're all sitting up so nicely. Let's take a block and sit on it with your legs behind you in virasana or vajrasana. Block the long way. Sit so that your ankles are touching, if you can, the block, which means your knees might be a little bit closer together. And just rest your hands on top of your thighs. Close your eyes and just breathe. Gaze towards the tip of your nose. Start to breathe in and breathe out. It's like a very blue sky there. Just close your eyes and go inward a little bit. Just remove yourself from the distractions that might be around you or the ones that are inside of your head. The constant chatter, the chitta. And start to pay attention to the breath. So really, at the end of the day, the breath is the guiding force through your practice. All the other movements are kind of incidental, and rather than adjusting yourself to the pose, let the pose guide you and let the breath guide you into that pose. So never taking yourself into a space that's not appropriate for you. So fill up the belly, the ribs, and the chest on the inhalation. And as you empty the breath, let the chest release, the belly softens, the ribs come down. And make that continual movement with the breath expanding on the inhale and release on the exhale. And so the breath becomes this mantra-like movement and sound, the inhale and the exhale. And then begin to bring the words let go into your breath. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Let go of tension, thoughts, distractions, negativity, stress. Stay for 3 more rounds of your breath. The emptying of the third breath, you can open your eyes. No rush. Just because I mentioned it doesn't mean you have to rush through it. And when you open up your eyes, begin to interlace your fingers in front of you, stretch the arms out. Breathe in and just reach your arms forward. Breathe out, pull the belly back. Breathe in, bring the arms forward and now up. Exhale, empty, and round your spine. Inhale, expand. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, expand. Stay upright with your arms over your shoulders or perhaps in front of you. Exhale, turn to your right side. Now, E.T., you're frozen. I hope you can just at least hear me. Inhale back to center, and exhale, turn to your other side. Maybe not. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn to the right side. Release the arms, left arm outside the right thigh, right arm behind you. Lengthen your spine, and rotate a little bit deeper. Take your right arm a little bit more to the left side. So you have a little bit more space, a little bit more opening. Inhale, bring the arms back overhead and take it to the other side. Hi, E.T., I hope you get to stay on it. Take a breath. Walk the left hand back towards the right side a little bit deeper. Find space as you inhale and twist. Empty out the breath. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Once again, interlace the fingers, but switch the finger across, so just move one finger over. Exhale, round and curl, pull the belly in. Inhale, lift up. And now lean to the right side, release your right arm, keep your left arm up over your head. Press your left hip down to the floor or the block. Rotate your torso, reach and stretch in all directions. Inhale, rise up to the center. Exhale, left arm down, lean to the left. Right arm overhead. Rotate your torso, ground your right hip. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, reach the arms out in front of you. Walk your arms forward, keep your hips grounded. If you need to separate your knees a little bit wider, go ahead. Otherwise, keep them as close as you feel comfortable with. Start to breathe a little bit longer across the back spaces of the body now, side to side, top to bottom, all directions. Relax the neck and shoulders. You can place your head on the floor or on another block, or keep it elevated as long as there's no stress to you. Walk your hands to the right side, left hand on top. Keep pushing the left hip towards the floor. Inhale, lift your head, chest, and walk over to the other side. Right hand on top of the left. Push your right hip to the heel. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax your right shoulder from your ear. Inhale, lift up and return to the center. Walk your hands forward. Exhale, push your hips back. Inhale, draw your hands like you're pulling your heel of your hands towards your knee. And as you come up, you come into a rounded cat spine. Remove the block, move it back to the other side of your mat or the front side of your mat. Walk your knees back a little bit further. Keep the rounding of the spine. Tuck the toes underneath you and push your hips to your heels. Inhale, round your back to come to the center. And exhale, just drop your hips down, lift your chest. A little bit of like a modified up dog. Exhale through the center with a rounded spine. Push your hips to your heels, child's pose, tuck toes. Inhale, round your spine. Exhale, drop your hips, lift your heart. Inhale, round your spine, pull your hips back. Exhale into a child's pose. Inhale, round your spine. Exhale, tilt your hips forward. Stay here. Now, keep your knees down, toes tucked or fine. Drop your chest so that your arms come up to your ears without bending your arms. And then push back up. So once again, drop through. A little scapula push up. And pull it up. Keep your belly in nice and strong. One more time. Good. And come back up. Push your hips to your heels and move your right arm back and make circles. Big circles in one direction, big circles reverse the direction. When you get to this next right arm up, open up the chest, shoulder, and then press the arm underneath the left arm forward, back of the head to the floor. Any variation you want with your arms and or your legs. So the palm of the right hand is up, or perhaps the left hand is bound behind your back. Some of you might want to lift your left leg off the floor. See where it takes you today. Remember, don't make it have to be the pose. If it's something that you do on a regular basis, perhaps try something different. Release your arm if it's bound and stretch the left arm forward. Stretch the right arm forward to meet it as well. So if we do practice habitually, we do things very habitually. So change it up. You have the power to do that. Come back up to your hands and knees with your arms a little extended and start to do the circles on the left side. So if you take the same pose the same way every day of your life, reinforce it. Maybe change it up. Maybe you make it less challenging than more challenging. Take the left arm up. I know nobody wants to hear that. Left arm up. Exhale, left arm underneath. Right arm walks forward. Back of the head towards the floor. Hips are elevated. And then you choose to do anything with your arms and or your legs. So maybe it's a bind behind the right back, or the back of the left leg really. Or maybe you want to take the right leg in the air. You know, there are days I want to do it, the days I don't want to do it, days I fall over, days I don't. But I don't have to do the same thing every day. I'm not married to it. Release the arm. If you're bound, take it out in front of you. Take your left arm. That's how we explore, by the way, right? So if you get on your mat at home or you practice, like, play with different things. Now release your toes and sit all the way back to an extended child's pose. Longest child's pose we've taken thus far. Reach your fingers forward and push your hips back. Inhale, come back to your hands and knees. Adjust it so the knees are under the hips, hands are under the shoulders. Stretch your right leg back and tuck the toes on the floor and just walk through the calf stretch here. Just rock and roll a little bit forward and back. And then just come to the center, lift the right leg up, balance. Drop the right hip down. Exhale, right knee to the chest round and curl, kick your heel to your buttocks. And step your right foot forward in between your two hands. Grab your blocks if you have them and place them underneath your hands, underneath your shoulders. Drop the left hip forward. Pull the right heel towards the left knee, so that as if you were really getting some good engagement there. And let go of that left hip flexor. Just let it kind of relax down as you stretch. One more breath just here. You can take the blocks with you any height. Straighten the front leg. So you can move the blocks back if your hamstrings are particularly tight and you want to be a little bit more upright. Or you want to take your hands forward and get a little deeper into the back of the hip. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, rebend the knee. Look forward, arch your back just a little bit, or put a little bit of cobra in that upper back. Exhale and straighten your front leg. Inhale, rebend your front knee. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Inhale, rebend your front knee. You can keep the toes tucked or not. Stretch the arms up overhead. Maybe you want to just stop today at your thighs. So see where you're at. See if you can lift out of the waistline, out of the hip, I should say. So between the hip and the thigh, find a little bit more space there. Bring your heart up, eye gaze up. Breathe in, breathe out. And then empty the breath, hands to the floor. Tuck your back toes underneath you. Lift the knee up off the floor. Exhale, step your right leg to your left leg. It's okay if you're on blocks. And then lift your hips in the air for downward facing dog. Bend one knee, then the other. Find your first downward dog. With a nice, soft, easy release. Shake out your head yes or no. And just get rid of any tension. And put a soft bend into the knees. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Bring the chest a little bit closer to the thighs. Breathe through the nose, in and out. Inhale, rise onto the tippy toes. Shift back to the plank position. Shoulders over wrist, belly in. Lower your right knee to the floor. Keep your left toes tucked under. You can move your blocks to the side if you want for a moment. We're going to bring them back, but you can keep your hands on them. And then rock and roll over the bottoms of the feet just to get a little calf stretch. Come back to the center, lift your left leg in the air, but level out your hips. Pull the belly in. Exhale, knee to chest round and curl, kick the heel to the buttocks, and step your left foot through. Now snuggle your right knee back if you need to. Place your hands on the blocks if you have them, lift your chest up. And just sink forward, stretching the right hip. Left heel is pulling back towards the right knee, so feel that engagement under the leg. Broaden your collarbones, breathe. Empty the breath. And then inhale, shift back, take your blocks with you or keep them where you'd like. Toes up or down, hips a little bit more squared so if your hamstrings are tight. Karen, I would move the blocks back torso up a little bit more, that'll help to straighten the leg, but watch that knee. Looks like it's turning in a whole lot. So pull the left hip back a little bit more, right hip forward. Breathe. Inhale. This big screen is very helpful. Exhale. Good. Now inhale, rebend your knees, blocks wherever you want. Exhale, straighten the leg, fold. Inhale, rebend. Exhale, fold. So when you come back to the bent knee, you have that little cobra or arch in the upper back. Broaden the collarbones. One more time. And then rebend the knee, pause. Toes under or not on the right leg. Inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. Exhale, sink a little bit lower. Pull your heart up. Breathe in, ribs to hips. One more breath. Exhale, hands to the floor. Tuck your right toes underneath you. Lift the right knee up off the floor. Step your left foot to your right foot. You're in a plank position on blocks or floor. Doesn't matter. Lift your hips in the air. Downward facing dog. And here again, soft bend to the knees when you settle. But you can just walk your feet side to side right now. Or move your hips side to side. And then find the stillness in downward dog. But again, put a soft bend in the knees. Push the chest towards the thighs. You never have to lock out your body. You never probably should. Not when you're weight bearing. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Now inhale, rise on your toes. Look towards the top of your mat. Soften your knees. And take little tiny steps to walk your feet all the way up to the top of your mat. When you get there, separate them with two fists in between to measure the approximate width of your hips. And then just walk your hands out in front of you so the palms are on the floor, wherever that will be, right? It might be further, it might be closer. And if the hands don't touch on the floor, then put your blocks underneath you. Shift your weight towards the heel of your hands and towards the ball of your foot without lifting your heel of your foot up. Let your head come down. Move your hips so they're over your heels. Shake out your head, yes or no. And just fold. Pull the belly button into the spine. Chin to the chest. Let the head hang down. Press firmly through your feet. Draw your belly in and lift your pelvic floor up. And then start to peel your spine up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Your arms are dangling, your head is dangling. When you get up to standing, roll the shoulders back and around. The head sits on top of the shoulders. Crown of the head to the sky. Chin parallel to the floor. Feet are grounded. Arms come by your side. Spread your palms open. Ground your feet. So find that energy from the big toe, little toe, ball of the foot, heel, rising upward as the calves pull towards the shins. The knees lift up. Tailbone tucks under. Collarbones broaden, chin parallel to the floor, crown of the head to the sky, eye gaze steady. A couple of half salutes here. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, open the arms out, bend the knees, and sweep down to the floor. Hands on floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press down, rise up, bring the arms with you. Exhale, send a prayer to your heart. Release your arms by your side. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, open, soften the knees as you fold. Always soften the knees, and when you get down there, you decide if it's appropriate to straighten them or not. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press down to rise up all the way. Exhale, send it to your heart. Release your arms. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, open, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This time, exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Big, generous step. Lower the right knee to the floor. Keep the toes tucked. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, release the hands and step into downward facing dog, hips up in the air. Inhale, either bring your left knee to the floor and step forward, or step forward, then bring your left knee to the floor. I'll let you choose. Inhale, stretch, same breath really, take the arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor, look forward. Inhale, step your feet together, top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, bring the arms with you. Exhale, send the prayer to the heart, release the arms. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Now you don't have to swan dive, you can take your hands down the center, you choose. Hands to floor, shins, blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back, generous step, lower the knee to the floor. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, release the hands, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, right knee to the floor, left foot forward, however you choose to do that, whichever direction you do it. Arms come up. Exhale, hands to the floor, toes top, look forward. Inhale, step together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, bring the arms with you. Exhale, bring the prayer to your heart, release your arms. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, fold your way. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot steps, right knee lowers. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, arms down, legs back, hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, left knee down, arms up. Exhale, hands down, tuck the toes, look forward. Inhale, step. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, prayer. Notice how the inhales and the exhales kind of work together with the breath. Inhale, or with the movement. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left foot steps, left knee lowers. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, arms up. Exhale, arms down, tuck your toes. Inhale, look forward, step together. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, prayer, arms by your side. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot steps, right knee lowers. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, left knee down. Arms come up. Exhale, arms down, toes top, look forward. Inhale, step together. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, prayer through the center, arms by your side. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, fold your way. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot steps, left knee down, arms up. Inhale. Exhale, arms down, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, arms up. Exhale, arms down, toes top, look forward. Inhale, step together. Exhale, fold, stay here. Separate your feet, hips width if they're not. Take your peace finger grip around your big toes. Thumbs underneath your fingers and pulling at the toes. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, draw the elbows out to the side, head towards the shins. And again, like you had your hands in front of you, shift your weight towards the balls of your feet. A little bit more forward. Stacking the hips on top of the heels. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Let's just take the left hand block, rise up with the block in your hand. So if you have two blocks, you're going to have one at the right side and one we're going to take with us. So step, it's okay. It's okay. If you don't have blocks, you don't have blocks. So what? Use a beach chair. Step your left foot out all the way to the left side. So a big wide step. Take your left block behind your left foot. If you don't have blocks, don't worry about it. It is what it is, right? But if you're not on vacation, but if you're home and you don't have blocks, then you should grab them. So widen your legs and make sure your feet are about parallel to each other. Maybe a slight turn in. Arms shoulder height. So notice if your arms are over your ankles or not. If your feet are really close and your arms are standing way beyond them, open up your legs wider. Inhale. And exhale, bring the arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, palms together, knuckles down. Use a strap towel or anything else that you have nearby. Lift your chest. Exhale, soften the knees as you fold. Let the head come down, and we're in a wide-legged Prasarita Padottanasana. Fold. Breathe in, breathe out. So just a pretty standard one here. Soften the knees, arms come up. I kind of move side to side here a little bit. I feel like I'm just kind of shifting into my body. And then fold in half, and again, the weight comes a little bit more forward. Softening the knees, letting the head drop down. One more breath. Good. Release your hands to the floor, lengthen your spine, inhale. Place your hands to your hips, come up with a flat spine. Tailbone tucks underneath you. Press your hands onto your hips and kind of press down. And then lift your torso up. Now take the arms up one more time, shoulder height. Turn your left toes to the back of your space. Turn your right toes as if you had a clock in front of you, and it's your right toes are at 2 o'clock. Now that right hip's gonna like bump up right now. So let's just start with a leveled hip, as level as you can get. Right arm back, left arm forward. Bend your knee, left knee, and bend into warrior two. So the left knee bends, knee over the ankle. Firm up your legs, inhale. And exhale. Keep pulling your right arm back and your left arm forward. Your right leg is firm, so there's no that bend in the knee like you're on a surfboard, right? You're not hyperflexing it, but lift the kneecap up and press the pinky toe down. Reach back with your right arm, and you're in warrior two pose. Your left knee opens up towards the pinky side of the foot, and the thigh opens out as the inner heels pull towards each other. It's a lot of action in the legs. One more breath. Empty the breath, right arm down, left arm up. Reverse this. Warrior pose. Breathe. Bend your left knee a little bit more and come out of your waistline. Yeah, nice. Good. Inhale, from here, straighten your front leg. Arms come back up shoulder height. Move your hips to the right, bring your torso to the left. The block is there if you choose to use it on the outside of your calf on its highest height. So we want it back further so that the shoulders will stack. Right arm comes up in the air, tailbone comes underneath you. So again, the thighs rotate outward, but the inner heels pull inward. There's a lift at the bottom side of your body. So the left side of your body lifts up and in, and the right shoulder, chest open up. So if you can reach your arm up in the air, you're stacking your shoulders like a T. You look like a T. Energize the legs. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath, triangle pose, look down. Move the block back, keep it there, arms up. Turn your feet so they're parallel. Exhale, hands behind your back, but interlace the other finger on top. Lift your chest and forward fold, exhale. Soften the knees to get down. Decide if you like it there with a bent knee or a straight leg. Sometimes that bent knee is really nice. One more breath. Inhale, press down to rise up. Exhale, release your arms, arms up shoulder height. Turn your right toes to the front of the mat. Turn your left toes to 10 o'clock on a clock. Bend your right knee. Pull your left arm back. That's it, Michelle. Good. Gaze down the right hand. Reach in all directions. Right knee in line with your hip towards the pinky edge of your foot. So the outer thigh or the upper thigh kind of rolls out while the inner thigh kind of squeezes in. Energize your arms like I'm sitting on your shoulders. Big breath. Sink a little bit lower. Left arm down the back leg, right arm up. Lift out of your waistline. It's like you're bumping your left hip towards your right hip, or towards your right knee even. And if you come out of the knee, it's okay. Just go back into it. And when I say go back into it, I just mean bend the knee. I'm not putting the weight towards the knee. I'm really bringing the weight downward. One more big breath. Find all that stretch. On the exhale, come up and straighten your front leg. You might have to adjust the back leg. Reach forward with your torso, pull the hip back. And if you have a block and you're using it, It's on the highest height outside your calf, not your ankle, so that you can get your shoulders to stack open. Left arm floats in the sky whenever you're ready. So bring the tailbone underneath you. Lift your knees up. Rotate your upper thighs outward while your inner heels squeeze inward. And then the left shoulder opens over the right. There should be no weight on your hand that's on the bottom. Breathe in. So E.T., I don't know where you are, but you could put your hand above your thigh or below your knee so that you get a little bit more stacking at the shoulders. One more breath, look down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, turn to the left side, so you're facing the left side again. Hands on your hips. Good. Pull your tailbone underneath you so you're just tilting your pelvis a little bit. Bring your hands to your back and just do a gentle little back bend here. Lift your heart up like a string is pulling you up from your sternum, up and back. Now stand up nice and tall. Stretch the arms out. Turn your left toes to the left, right toes come into 2 o'clock. Bend your left knee, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse and straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach out and find your triangle pose. Inhale, come back up and reverse it once again. Now rebend the left knee. Take your left arm out in front of you, either on your thigh or on a block outside your calf. Right arm comes up to the sky. And then take the right arm Guitar Hero style back behind you, over your head, palm down. So your palm is down. Now I want you to turn your thumb a little bit towards the sky, and as you open the shoulder that way, open the torso to go with it. Bend your left knee so that you have maybe close to 90 degrees. That looks good, Lord. Breathe. So there should never be stress happening here. If it's stressful, back off somewhere. And remember, if you do the same thing all the time, change it up. The block on the back leg could be at any height. It's cool. One more breath. Now take your right arm to the sky and bring your right hand to your hip. Look to your left foot. You can bring the block with you. You're going to start to bring the weight into the left leg. You might have to shoot your right leg in a couple times or not, and then bring the right leg in the air. Same pose as triangle, but one leg is lifted. So again, the shoulders want to stack. Hand on the floor will help anybody if you have to bring the floor closer to you. The right leg lengthens out of your hip. The right arm pulls up and open. And there's energy, again, in all directions. Half moon. I know we're going to have a full moon in a day or so. So we'll, of course, do the other side so we have that. Breathe in, breathe out. I like your footy teeth. Okay. So, your hands on the floor, your foot's on the floor, and just everybody, just take a look down at your left toes because they sneak in a little bit. Make sure they stay facing forward. Put your right hand back on your hip. Bend your left knee. If you have the block, take it back with you. Bring your left hand on the block outside your left foot. You're back in your side angle pose. Reach in all directions. And then inhale, press down, rise up, reverse the warrior. We're not done yet. Exhale, bring your hand now on the inside or on top of the thigh or on a block on the inside of your left leg. Right arm comes up. And then take the right arm behind the back. Maybe you grab your inner left thigh. Maybe you take a full bind and don't do the bind to just to bind, but bring the right shoulder back over the left shoulder. So if you cannot open up the chest, then you release the bottom arm. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath. Sink a little deeper, guys. Now, if you're down, stay down. Straighten your left leg. Exhale. Good. Now, rise. Let's turn the toes in first. Turn the toes in and fold over. Walk your right foot in a little closer. Put your weight into your right leg. Bend your knee. Maybe that's it for you. I know Michelle will come up. Or you're going to put your weight into your right leg and float your left leg in the air. And some of you will extend the leg. It's So as I said, I know that Michelle typically does this. Okay, try not to wear a diaper. I know it's hard. So if you're bound and you're in bird of paradise, begin to bring your feet back down to the floor. Turn your toes forward. Release the bind. Walk your feet a little bit wider again. Forward fold, grab the outside of your ankles or outer foot and pull your chest towards your thighs. Shake out your head, yes or no. Inhale, lengthen your spine, put your hands to your hips and rise up again. So we moved our feet in and out. Make sure your feet are back to a wide stance, maybe slightly pigeon-toed. Stretch your arms up shoulder height, inhale. Turn your right toes to the right, left toes, clock in front of you, 10 o'clock. Bend your right knee, warrior two. Good. Inhale, reverse and straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach out and take your triangle pose. Left arm up, stacked on top of the right, tailbone underneath you, breathe in, lift your knees up, not back, and breathe out. Inhale, reverse, come back up, right arm up, left arm down, now bend your right knee again. Exhale, reach forward, take your right hand on the thigh or outside on a block of your right ankle, left arm in the air, tailbone underneath you. Send your left arm back and around over your head. The palm is facing down. Now spin your thumb open a little bit, and as you do that, pull your shoulders back over each other. Nice, Karen. Great, looking good. Breathe in, breathe out. Right thigh parallel to the floor. Try not to put so much weight into your right hand. One more breath, sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, stretch your left arm to the sky. Take your block with you or not. Begin to step in again. You can take a lot of steps, or you can make it one big transitional step. Left arm up, right arm down. Look at your right toes for a moment. They get really sneaky on you and they want to turn in. So pull your right hip in, stack your left hip on top, left arm on top. Energize your left leg all the way back and out. Energize. Good, Laura. Right arm up, breathe. Good. Make sure your right arm is underneath your shoulder, not too far forward. Because it could be the camera, but it looks like you might be forward. Take another breath and find your biggest expanse here. And put your left hand on your hip. Soften your your right leg. And take your hand back on the outside of your right leg. Adjust yourselves. Side angle pose. Anywhere you want. Exhale down. Inhale, rise up, reverse it. One more. Exhale, right arm on the inside or on top. Left arm in the air, or take the left arm behind your back and bind. Half bind, just bringing the left arm behind you. Full bind, bringing the right arm underneath, but stacking the shoulders. More important than the bind is that the torso stays open and the hips stay strong. Yeah. Good. So if you have a half or full bind, begin to straighten your right leg. Turn your right toes to the center and fold down in between. So you've got your hands, one or both around the right leg. Walk your left foot in a little bit closer. Not a little bit, a lot. Find your body weight leveling out as you put more weight into the left leg, and perhaps begin to stand up and bring the right leg with you. Nice, Michelle. Good. Breathe. So there are options, they're not demands. If you're standing up, bend the leg. Keep the arms, if you can, supported around. Come back down to the floor, and then turn your toes forward, release your hands. Inhale, lengthen, walk your feet wider. Exhale, fold, take a peace finger grip around your big toes. Look up, inhale. Elbows out to the side, exhale, shift the weight a little bit forward. Shake out your head, yes or no. Inhale, lengthen, release your hands under your shoulders. Exhale, turn yourself to the front of the mat. Now, if you want to move your blocks, bring them back. You don't have to rush. I'm just taking them back.
might step into a downward facing dog. Lift your hips in the air. Pedal out your dog, right side, left side. Inhale, shift into your plank position, shoulders over wrists, belly lifted, knees lifted. Bend your elbows halfway. Roll over your toes, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, float your right leg in the air. Now open the hip, bend and straighten. Exhale, bring your knee to the center, kick your heel to your buttocks, lift on your toes. Bring your knee to the chest round and curl, and then bring your knee to your right wrist, set down for pigeon. Now, a couple of things. Take a block underneath your right hip if you tend to lean more to the left side, or lay on your back if none of this works for you. So level out your hips and breathe. If you're very open in your hips, your shin might be parallel to the front edge of the mat. I think most of us, Michelle looks pretty good. Great. All right, so stay upright until you find that levelness in the hips. You're going to keep wanting to pull your left hip level to your right, and then start to fold forward. Pigeon pose. Pigeon on your back, dead pigeon, figure four, whatever you want to call it. And breathe. So just notice, all these, they're subtle, but they're not so subtle, right? If the right hip sinks to the floor more, or the left hip sinks to the floor more, and your hips are not level, something underneath your hips will help. Soften, breathe, let go. We experience a lot of muscular action in our yoga practice, a lot of physicality. We're still being physical, but we're going to release a little of it here and there. So 2 more breaths. If you're sitting on a block, you can remove it and walk your hands back in. If you're on your back, you can slowly come up to an upright position. Sit on your right heel now, or hip now, and turn to your left side with your left leg extended. Don't make it too wide. Bring it a little bit closer in. Turn your body towards the left side. So one hand on either side of your leg, and of course the strapper towel will help. Walk yourself forward so that you're leaning over your left leg. But keep your arms wide so you have the space in your body to rotate, to move, to breathe. Inhale and exhale. Bring your left hand on the inside of the left thigh or block. Stretch your right arm up and open. Reach your right arm up, both hips grounded. Exhale, right arm overhead. So kind of like that side angle feeling, reaching from your fingertip all the way to your hip, rotating your torso up and under you. One more big breath, find a little bit more space. Good. Now inhale, rise up, right arm down behind your right hip, and lift your hips up in the air. Open up for that dancer's bridge or wild thing or whatever people call this. Lower your hips to the floor. Spin yourself around to the front. Both legs out in front of you. Good. Bend your knees, lean your heels towards your buttocks. Right in line with your sitting bones. Hold on to your knees underneath, lift up your chest. Lean slightly back, pull the toes in, and let the shins become parallel to the floor. If you'd like to release your arms, release your arms. Keep the knees bent for this one. You can point, you can flex, you can floin. Floin is a flex point, or yoga point, people call it. Breathe in. Lift your chest up. Find the energy in your core. One more breath. Good. Exhale, cross your ankles, shift your weight forward, step or jump to plank chaturanga, skip it and meet in downward dog. And we'll do side B. Inhale, stretch your left leg up and open, bend the knee. So when you open up the left hip, keep your shoulders level, left arm parallel to the right arm, but the hip opens. Exhale, bring the knee to the chest, rounding curl, shift forward, heel to buttocks. Little rounding in the back. And then bring the knee to the left wrist, set the foot down, or the shin, tuck the right toes underneath you, and just stop for a moment and notice, would I benefit from having something underneath my left hip? Will it keep my hips level? Or am I good? Or do I need to go to my back? Walk your hands forward. We stay for several breaths, so just settle into it. Every breath might take you a little bit deeper, a little bit more action going on, but hopefully a little bit more peaceful rather than powerful and stressful. So the longer you stay, the deeper you'll get. We're not too long today in this pose, but we've got several more breaths to go. Slow down the breath, slow down the thoughts, slow down the actions. They're all intermingled. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath. Good. Inhale, come back to your hands, take a block out if you're sitting on it, come up if you're on your back, and turn to the right side of your mat. Bring your right leg in a little bit closer. Blocks are fine, you can use them. Take your hands on either side of your right leg, but keep them wide, like those cobra push-ups that we do off the mat. So turn your torso to the right side and hinge forward, finding that space. It's not a huge forward fold, right? So it's not like Paschimottanasana where we just do this nice long forward fold over our legs. 2 more breaths, hips are squared onto the floor, sitting bones feel grounded. And on this next breath, right hand comes on the inside of the right leg or on the block. Left arm opens up, open up your torso. Round your left hip. Use your arm. Use your right arm to open up. Inhale, rise up, left hand behind the hip, right arm up in the air as you open up. Pull up, don't just collapse into the shoulder. Lift out of your joints. 1 more breath. Exhale, lower your hips down. Bring both legs around to the front. Adjust your sitting bones. Bend your knees, line up your heels with your sitting bones. Hold on beneath your knees or your hamstrings. Lift up your chest. Lean slightly back and then just pull the heels off the floor and then shins parallel to the floor. Stay there or release your arms out in front of you. Now listen carefully. Bring your knees a little closer. Move your knees to the left and your arms to the right. Move your knees to the right and your arms to the left. Do that 2 more times. Moving in opposition. And switch. And switch. And then come back to center. Hands under the thighs. Bring your feet to the floor, soles of the feet together. Open the knees out and fold. If you want to get closer, just snuggle in a little closer. Like that, it felt good to have the blocks under the knees. Or you can stay upright and bring your hands behind your back. Whatever works for you. Just take 5 breaths in it. When you've completed 5 breaths, and again, no rush, I'm just mentioning it. Bring your torso upright. Take your hands on the outside of your knees, bring them together. Hold on to the front of your shins or your ankles and begin to roll down slowly. 1 vertebrae, it's a rounded back. So you want to scoop out your belly, come back down, hug your knees all the way in. Open your arms to a T, right leg over left, shift your hips to the right, the knees fall over to the left side. Open your palms, your shoulders, your chest. Make it as deep as you want so you can keep a really tight bend, or wrap and bind of the legs, or you can open up. I opened mine a little bit wider. Uncross the legs, draw that back to center. Exhale, left leg over right. Inhale, hips to the left, knees fall to the right. Exhale. Uncross the legs, hug the knees to the chest. Lift your head and shoulders up, grab a hold of the ankles, come into a tight ball. Exhale, lower your head, lift your legs. Let the legs rest over the hips so your tailbone's on the floor. Take the arms by your side or underneath your hips. Flex and point, roll the ankles. Take a big breath in. Begin to lower your legs, but slowly. And as you lower the legs, imagine that I would like to say Lori because she does this so well. She's pulling your legs away from your hips. Nice and slow, just getting some length into the body. When the legs do touch the floor, roll onto your forearms, lift your heart, top of the head to the floor lightly. Or any variation of this pose that works for you. No, I'm not going to mention any of them or all of them, but if you know them, take them, expand your body, and maybe just take something that feels okay. Fish pose. Open up your heart. Tuck the chin into the chest and roll down. Hug your knees back into your chest. Take your hands on either leg, open the hips, and move in circles. Then reverse the circles. Hug your knees all the way up to your chest. Give a nice tight compression, but in a good way. Squeeze everything nice and close together. Take a big breath in. Exhale, extend your legs, extend your arms over your head. Reach in all directions. Top, bottom, inside, outside. Move from side to side a little bit. Just get a lot of length here. And then make your way to the center with a big inhale. And empty the breath. Bring the arms by your side. Let the palms rest open. Let the hips splay open. And let your body weight surrender into the mat as you start to settle down into your final pose of the class, called Shavasana, where we lay in stillness and peace, and we start to absorb all the efforts that all the good stresses that we placed on our body, all the way down to the molecular level, deep. And back to the mantra of let go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Let go of all physicality, all distractions, all thoughts. And let your body peacefully surrender onto your mat. Or turn it off. And start to make small movements back into your body as you deepen your breath. Draw your knees up to your chest. Bring yourself to one side. And come into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to your heart center. Bow down in gratitude for yourselves always, first and foremost, for showing up. And then to each other, the light, peace, love, beauty, goodness within each one of you. Namaste. Satnam. Go in peace. Stay strong, stay fit, stay healthy.